The CIA Triad is a fundamental concept in IT security that helps us remember the core principles. Sometimes you might encounter it referred to as the IAC Triad to avoid confusion with the Central Intelligence Agency CIA in the US. However, the acronym CIA is widely used because it's easy to recall. It's important to note that the CIA Triad in cybersecurity has no connection to the CIA as a federal agency. Instead, it stands for three crucial security objectives. Confidentiality. This ensures that sensitive information is protected from unauthorized access. When safeguarding data, maintaining its confidentiality is key to preventing breaches. Integrity focuses on ensuring that the data received is exactly as it was sent without any unauthorized alterations. It's about making sure that the information remains accurate and trustworthy during transit or storage. Availability, lastly, means that information and systems are accessible to authorized users whenever needed. Even with strong security measures in place, it's vital that the systems remain operational and the data is accessible. These three principles are often represented as a triangle, where each side corresponds to confidentiality, integrity, and availability, forming the foundation of security best practices. In IT security, one of the most important significant challenges is ensuring that the data is accessible to the appropriate individuals while keeping it out of the hands of unauthorized users. This principle is known as confidentiality. Encryption is a fundamental method to achieve confidentiality. It allows data to be converted into a coded format that only the intended recipient can decode, ensuring that even if the data is intercepted, it remains unreadable to anyone without the decryption key. Another crucial aspect of maintaining confidentiality is implementing access controls. These controls restrict access to certain information, allowing only specific individuals or groups to view or modify it. For example, someone in the marketing team may have full access to marketing materials, but they would be restricted from accessing sensitive financial data. Multi-factor authentication is yet another layer that enhances confidentiality. By requiring multiple forms of verification before granting access, MFA ensures that even if one credential is compromised, unauthorized users are still kept out. When we receive data from another source, it's crucial to ensure that the data remains unchanged from the time it was sent to the time we received it. This is where the concept of integrity comes into play. One of the primary methods to maintain integrity is through hashing. The sender generates a hash of the data and sends both the data and the hash to the recipient. When the recipient gets the data, they perform the same hashing process. If the hash key they calculate matches the one provided by the sender, they can be confident that the data hasn't been altered. To further strengthen integrity, digital signatures can be used. A digital signature involves taking the hash of the data and encrypting it using an asymmetric encryption algorithm. This is not only ensuring that the data remains unchanged, but also verifies the identity of the sender, adding another layer of trust. Certificates are also common, used to confirm identities of devices or individuals, especially in situations where data is being transferred between systems. These certificates contribute to the overall integrity of the communication process. Lastly, the principle of non-repudiation ensures that the integrity of the data can be verified without any doubt, confirming that the information received is indeed from the claimed sender. If you worked in IT, you understand the critical role that system availability plays. Availability, a key pillar of the CIA Triad, ensures that users can access the data they need without interruption. To achieve high availability, systems must be designed with continuous operation in mind. This often involves implementing fault tolerance where multiple components are in place so that if one fails, another can seamlessly take over, keeping the system running smoothly. Additionally, maintaining availability requires diligent management and regular updates, including patching. Patching not only enhances system availability but also addresses security vulnerabilities, ensuring that unauthorized access through exploit is prevented. In this slide, we will look at a practical example using the common vulnerability scoring system, version 4.0. The score is 8.8 for this example, which is categorized as height severity. So the CIA Triad can have actual numerical values, metrics that can be assigned to vulnerabilities or to systems, to assets, company assets, where you rate the protection level that you need to provide for an application. So these CIA values actually are used as a metric. Let's go back to this example. The exploitability metrics, the attack vector remains network. So we have a network indicating that the vulnerability can be exploited remotely. The complexity is low. The attack is relatively simple to carry out. Privileges required is none. The attacker doesn't need any special access right to exploit the vulnerability. User interaction is none. So no user involvement is needed to execute the attack. Let's check the vulnerability system impact metrics with the CIA Triad. So confidentiality is high. The sensitive data can be easily compromised. Integrity is low. The risk is low. Means while the data integrity could be affected, the impact is not as severe. Availability is low. While the system availability might be disrupted, the impact is somewhat contained. This is what it means. And then there is the subsequent impact metrics, the potential for cascading effect on other connected systems. So you hack one system, can you affect the other systems? Confidentiality is high in this example. So there is a significant risk to sensitive information even beyond the initial affected system. Integrity and availability is low, means the cascading effects of these elements are present but not as pronounced. So this is the example for a vulnerability. We focused on CIA Triad. Another score can be added, like I mentioned, to assets of a company to ensure the protection level, to decide how often do you need to do the penetration testing. What firewall? Is it external? Is it internal? What is the business impact? So this confidentiality, integrity, availability help us measure a system or an asset or a vulnerability.